This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
8:45, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by Niranjan Abesundara. The Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says children should be motivated to engage in sports activities in school. Archbishop Malcolm Kalarandit says people should be vigilant on some clergy who are misleading their followers for personal gains. STF raids illegal armory in Katana, 8 firearms recovered. Minister of Environment says sand, soil, stone and clay shortage could arise in future. 536 new COVID-19 cases reported in the country today. In world news, India and China agreed to pull back troops from disputed Himalayan lake. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said children should be motivated to engage in sports activities since they are school age. The government has implemented a systematic program in this connection. The government also intends to provide a sound education to children. The Prime Minister made his remarks at a ceremony held in Anamado today to declare open the new 3-storied building at the Kannangara Model School. A limited number of students have the opportunity to follow university education. Therefore, the government has started constructing technical colleges and vocational training institutes to grant training to more students. The government will implement another program to direct the Sri Lanka youth for foreign employment as skilled workers. Archbishop Malcolm Kalarandit said that artists, sportsmen, businessmen and general public should be vigilant on some clergy who are deceiving their followers for personal gains. Some priests are attempting to mislead the people by creating religious hatred. At a press briefing held in Colombo today, he said that he's yet to receive a copy of the final report of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the Easter Sunday terror attacks. The Cardinal further noted that there are shortcomings in the investigations conducted in the Criminal Investigation Department into the Easter Sunday terror attacks. Furthermore, he added, he is currently following the regime to reduce the number of shortcomings in these investigations. However, they must find out the truth about some things. The Police Special Task Force has seized a cache of weapons from an illegally maintained arms storage in Miriswata, Katana. 8 firearms, 267 9mm ammunition, 994 12-bore ammunition, 385 7.6mm ammunition, 10 38mm ammunition and 17 32mm ammunition were seized by officers of the Gonahena STF camp. But his media spokesman D.H. Rohan has said a 60-year-old has been arrested over a cache of weapons this morning and has been produced before the court by the Katana police. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honour and empower pensioners.
536 new COVID-19 cases were reported in the country today. With the new increase, total coronavirus cases detected in the country have increased to 72,710. As per statistics, 6,100 active cases are still under medical care at selected hospitals and treatment centres. However, 66,211 persons who were infected with the virus have so far been discharged upon returning to health. In the meantime, the death toll in the virus outbreak stands at 375. The 108th Ratana Sutra chanting organized the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation will take place tomorrow at the Naval Vihara. Ratana Sutra chanting will be held under the guidance of Chief Monk of the Temple, Venerable Vargama Vimanadamatero. It will broadcast at 6:30 p.m. Where will be a single commercial service, City FM and regional services. That ends local news for now.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honour and empower pensioners.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vedha Mahatmya in every home.
The
story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Minister of Environment Mahinda Amarivira says a shortage of sand, soil, stone and clay could emerge in meeting the forecasted demand with planned development projects in the coming years. Speaking at a media briefing today, the minister said the concern was identified by the Presidential Task Force about to identify issues faced when procuring sand, soil, stone and clay for construction projects, adding that the report of the task force was handed over to the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today. Minister Amarivira said a more efficient program had been introduced to issue permits for mining operations. The minister said extensive talks on the matter will be held with the President to seek solutions for the scarcity and the controlling its prices of raw materials. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
On to Watchlight, the Bar Association of Sri Lanka will hold the National Law Conference 2021 tomorrow and the day after at the Garadara Hotel in Colombo. The conference will focus on the ways in which the legal professions can be fashioned to meet the requirements of the fast-developing and oncoming future while preserving the fundamentals within the profession. The conference has been converted to a hybrid virtual and physical conference due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The conference will be held under the theme of futurism. That came to in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
India and China agreed to pull back troops from the disputed Himalayan lake. US announces sanctions on Myanmar coup leaders. Turkey unveils space program including 2023 moon mission. India and China today began to pull back troops and battle tanks from bitterly contested lake area high in the western Himalayas today in a breakthrough after months-long standoff on the disputed border. Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh told Parliament the two sides had reached an agreement to withdraw from Pangong Tso, a glacial lake 14,000 feet, following several rounds of talks between the military commanders and diplomats from the nuclear-armed neighbours. China Defence Ministry announced that frontline troops from the two countries are pulling back from the shores of the lake on Wednesday. US President Joe Biden has approved an extensive order to impose sanctions on the leaders of Myanmar coup. The measures will be focused on military leaders, their family members and businesses linked to them. Steps are also being taken to block access by the military to $1 billion of government funds held in the US. Sanctions come as a woman who was shot in the head during the protests against the coup fights for her life in a hospital in the capital, Naypyidaw. Turkish president unveiled an ambitious 10-year space program for his country that includes missions to the moon, sending Turkish astronauts into space, and developing internationally viable satellite systems. The president announced the program seen as part of his vision for placing Turkey in expanded regional and global role during a live-read event laced with special effects. He said Turkey planned to establish a first contact with the moon in 2023, when the country marks the centennial of the founding of the Turkish Republic. The first stage of the mission would be through international cooperation, while the second stage would utilize Turkish rockets. And back to the headlines of the world news. India and China agreed to pull back troops from the disputed Himalayan lake. US announces sanctions on Myanmar coup leaders. Turkey unveils space program including 2023 moon mission. That was world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development news. The government of Japan provided a grant of $66,648 for the grant assistance for grassroots human society projects for a project for installation of coconut oil production facilities in the Mullaitivu district. Ambassador of Japan to Sri Lanka, Akira Sugiyama, and Nataraja Senthil-Ruben, Operation Director of the Textilon Social Ventures Guarantee Limited, signed the grant contract on 9th February 2021 at the ambassador's residence in Colombo. Japanese Embassy statement said that Textilon Social Venture through this project will assist 3 cooperative societies operational in Bisomadu, Tunikai and Nedunkerni to establish small-scale coconut oil production facilities. That is development news. And on to sports news. Batsman Liam Livingstone has been named in England's 2020 squad for next month's tour of India. Twenty-year-old has not played a T20 international since 2017, but is recalled after impressing from Perth Scorchers in the Australian Big Bash. There are still no place for Alex Hales, who finished as the top run scorer in the Big Bash with Sydney Thunders. Jofra Archer, Johnny Bairstow, Josh Butler and Ben Stokes are included, but Test captain Joe Root misses out. Pace bowler Jake Ball and spinner Matt Parkinson will travel as reserve players. The 5-match series will form part of England's build-up to the 2020 World Cup, which takes place in India later this year. The squad travels to India on 26th of this month, with the first match in Ahmedabad on the 12th of March. That was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Commercial Bank of Ceylon announced a partnership with Mother Sri Lanka, a non-profit organization, to fund the Project Run. It is the only program in the country that promotes the concept of being a responsible citizen among school children. The bank's funding will go towards a competition launched island-wide to encourage students to design projects that help uplift life and enrich communities across the country. The scope includes selecting the best projects of 3 all-island winners and 9 provincial winners. They will be announced at a grand award ceremony to be held in April 2022. Around 75,000 students from 1,500 schools are expected to take part in Project Run. That is business news.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Gulf Air, the national carrier of the Kingdom of Bahrain, announced that it will resume its direct operations to and from Colombo's Bandar Naik International Airport, with 2 weekly flights starting on Monday on its new Airbus A320neo aircraft. Gulf Air has been operating direct flights between the Kingdom of Bahrain and Sri Lanka since 1981 and is one of the airline's main destinations in the Indian subcontinent region. Being one of the few airlines that never stopped flying in 2020, Gulf Air continuously works closely with the government authorities across its network to resume operations as demand for travel grows. That is economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on to the weather report, the Met Department says mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. Misty conditions are expected in the central, Sabaragamu and Nuwa provinces and the Golemathra district during the morning tomorrow. And back to the headlines of the news. The Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said children should be motivated to engage in sports activities in school. Archbishop Malcolm Kalrantit said the people should be vigilant on some clergy who are misleading their followers for personal gains. STF raids illegal armory in Katana, 8 firearms recovered. Minister of Environment says sand, soil, stone and clay shortage could arise in future. 536 new COVID-19 cases reported in the country today. In world news, India and China agreed to pull back troops from the disputed Himalayan lake. That ends the news, and back to the combination of Soundy and Victor, the lady in red and the gentleman in black today. So over to the two of them, Soundy and Victor. In the meantime, I'm going to be Soundy going to say over from me. Okay, over to you, Soundy.